What up, chicken legs? What up, all you chicken legs? We're back. We're back at it, okay? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna continue testing how to use SQLite and SQLite tests while prompt learning from Claude on the process / subject. Control Shift X. Control Shift X. And then go back to, what's this gonna be? Control Shift E. Control Shift E back to File Explorer. Okay. Alright, let's set our timer. And man, I'm feeling sleepy. I took some caffeine, drank a little bit of coffee, went to the gym, I ate, showered, clean, but I just feel fucking tired, dude. Like, I don't want to take too much caffeine because I want to go to bed early tonight, but damn, bro, I just feel like I don't have no energy, you know? Like, none. Alright, let's do this. Okay, okay, so let's go back to, we're going back to SQLite test. Okay, so we have these last few things that we're going to test, and that's going to be references test. Okay, so let's do it. Let's hop in. Hop in where? Where are we going, dog? Hop into the DeLorean? Where are we going, bro? Let's bring up Claude. My main man, Claude. And let's ask him about references in SQLite. And he's going to give me the rundown. Hello, I can help you with SQLite. What would you like to know about it? I guess if I was like writing SQLite queries and commands, database. Nah, bro, the keyword, dog. References SQLite. The keyword. You're asking about the references keyword in SQLite, which is what? Oh, here we go. You're asking about the references keyword in SQLite, which is used for foreign key constraints. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. We just, man, that's like the same thing. Like, we don't need to make another test. An important thing to note is that in SQLite, while you can include the references keyword in create table statements, it doesn't actually enforce foreign key constraints by default. The references clause is essentially just documentation unless you explicitly enable foreign key support. Gotcha. Unless you explicitly enable foreign key support. So you have to do create table departments, ID, enter primary key, name text not null. Okay, so not null. So we'll do not and not null. We'll add that. Okay, and then we have foreign key department ID, references department ID, text enforcing. So yeah, we need to take note of that. And apparently the stream died and came back to life. So big deal. So yeah, we don't need to test this. We'll you know what we'll do? I will just copy this like so, and then we'll put foreign key / references testing. There we go. All right, and then we have not test. Okay, so we're out of free messages. Damn it, gonna have to go to chat GPT. Stay logged out, and we'll do SQLite. Not references. What's the next one? Not keyword. Alright, in SQLite, the not keyword is used to negate a condition in a query, typically within a where clause. It is used to exclude certain values that meet a specific condition. Here's how it works. So we have select column 1, column 2 from table name, and where not condition. Okay, cool. Exactly what you'd expect. Negating a condition, if you want to retrieve all rows where a column does not have a specific value. If you want to retrieve all rows where a column does not have a specific value, you can use not with an equality comparison. Select all from employees where not department equals HR, because nobody likes HR. Nobody wants to select them. Duh. This will return all rows where the department is not HR. Example 2, using not with in. You can also use not with the in operator. You can also use not with the in operator to exclude multiple values. Select all from products where category not in electronics clothing. Those are in all rows where the category is not electronics or clothing. Cool. Okay, so let's use this one. This is a good example. And we're gonna copy it, so we'll do cursor, execute, and then we're gonna say select all from products where category not in electronics clothing. And this actually has to be double quoted. And this will select all categories that are not electronics or clothing. Clothing. Alright, so that's easy. Alright, now null. So we're getting to the easy stuff now. SQLite null keyword. Oh, well, let me finish reading because I might have some little important things to remember. So we look at example number 2, and then we have example number 3, using not with like. Not like is used to exclude patterns that match a certain string, and that's one thing that that's another one I forgot about, is the like keyword. So we're gonna test that as well, baby. We're gonna test that as well, baby. Alright, so we got not. This is not like. Not like is used to exclude patterns that match a certain string. Select all from customers where name is not like J, and then the percentage symbol, which is also something else. There's another name for it, I can't remember, but there's another word for it, I think. It's not modulus. Modulus is... It's not modulus. Anyway, whatever it is, it's not important, but where not like J. Not like J. Select all from customers where name not like. So if it has J and then I guess like just anything that starts with J. Okay, yes. It says this query returns all rows where the name does not start with J. Cool. So we'll copy this for our like one. Not like J. Yeah, I feel. The query returns all rows where the name does not start with J. Example 4, using not with null. You can also use not with is null. To check for non-null values. So select all from employees where salary is not null. This returns all rows where the salary is not null. Summary, not negates the condition that follows it. the salaries on all and negotiate the conditions of the files that is commonly used in comparison period operators equal in like not equal not in not like to exclude certain values from your query results. Let me know if you need further clarification or examples. Okay. SQLite null keyword. In SQLite, the null keyword represents a missing or undefined value in a database. It's not the same as an empty string. And what is this? This is so good. What is this from? Infinity Castle. Demon Slayer? This is dope, dude. I love that background, keyboard, whatever it is. SQLite null keyword represents a missing or undefined value in a database. It's not the same as an empty string or a zero value. It indicates the absence of any value. You can use null in various ways, primarily in conditions and queries involving columns that can contain undefined or missing values. So it's yeah, null. It's undefined or missing. Okay? Key points about null. Null is a special marker used in databases to indicate that a value is missing or undefined. Okay. So if you like inserted something that inserted a row and there were 5 columns, and let's just say you only assigned like 4 of them, I'm guessing the 5th one would automatically like be set to null. Null is comparisons with null using regular operators like equal to, not equal to, greater than will not return true because null is not considered equal to anything, even another null. So you can't use comparisons against a null. It will never return true. So you don't compare against null. To check for null values in SQLite, you must use the is null or is not null. Checking for null values with is null. To repeat rows where a column contains a null value, select all from employees where salary is null. Well, that's easy. It's so easy. So we say cursor, execute, select all from employees where salary is, or I have to capitalize this, is null, baby. Yeah. And then you can use is not null or is not null. Easy money, right? Easy money. This will return all employees who have a null value in the salary column, i.e. their salary is missing. Check for non-null values with is not null. Rows select all from employees where salary is not null. Insert all employees who have a valid non-null salary. Inserting null into a column. When inserting data into a table, you can explicitly insert null into a column. You can explicitly insert null. So for name, department, salary. So if you don't know, something, you can insert null. You insert a new row into the employees table where the salary is null. And then handling null and expressions. When performing operations or calculations involving null, the result is generate null. For example, select salary plus 100. 1000. What does that mean? Select salary plus 1000 from employees where salary is not null. Oh, you can do that? So it's gonna get the salary where that's not null, and then it's gonna add 1000 to it. This query will add 1000 to the salary of employees, but only those who have a non-null salary. If the salary is null, the result of the expression would also be null. So anything right, I mean, null plus null is null. Null minus null is null. Null times null is null. Null divided by null is null. Got it. This query will add 1000 blah blah blah. Null and aggregate functions. SQLite's aggregate functions like count, sum, average, etc. ignore null values. SQLite's aggregate functions. Count, sum, average, etc. ignore null values. Okay, so count, sum, and average will just like pass over them. It would just basically like they don't exist. Select average salary from employees, and you don't have to worry about it won't consider the null as like 0. It will just pass over them completely and not include them in the average at all. So calculate the average salary excluding any null values in the salary column. Okay, so there's a lot of aggregate functions here. Count, sum, average, and they all ignore null. That's good to know. I mean, I don't want to go too deep with this. I'm feeling the wear of learning. I want to do some more actual coding. So we'll put a note here. Just put a note and bam. Count, sum, average, etc. Ignore null. Pass over null values. Cool. Okay. Select over. Simple. So easy. So easy, dude. Alright, continue. Count, sum, average. Yeah, let's go ahead and add those. Count, sum, and average. So we'll do when. Say when. Let's count, sum, average. Let's say count, sum, and then average. And I mean, these are all pretty self-explanatory, honestly, but you know, like there's always little quirks and little details, special interactions and stuff, just little details like this, for instance, that like these ignore null. That's cool to know. You know, maybe they would have interpreted null to just be 0. So it's cool that it does that. This will calculate the average salary, excluding any null values in the salary column. Null is used to represent missing or undefined values. To check for null, use is null or is not null. Operations involving null, return null. And let's add that note as well. We'll just say note, and we're gonna copy it so we can like actually write it, you know. Say so I'll actually remember it rather. Apparitions involving null, return null. Feeling dyslexic right now, as null is not comparable to other values. I need to move my keyboard a little bit to the right. There we go. Operations involving null, return null, as null is not comparable to other values. Equal to or equals, plus, minus, you know, whatever. All right, next one would be like. Not like us. Hopefully they do like us. Do they like us? I hope you like me. Like keyword SQLite 3. Running out of prompts here, baby. But AI is just the best at this sort of stuff. It's just better. So, in SQLite, the like keyword is used to search for a specified pattern in a column. So it's search for patterns. Searches for patterns. It is commonly used in the where clause to filter data based on partial matches with a string. The like operator allows for wildcard characters to be included in the search pattern, and I'm guessing wildcard characters would be like the percentage symbol. They're symbolic. They mean something. Select column 1, column 2, dot 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 from table name, column name, and then we say like pattern. Wildcard characters look like. SQLite supports 2 wildcard characters that are used with the like keyword. The percentage sign represents 0 or more characters, and then underscore represents exactly 1 character. I don't completely understand this. Like, I know that before it said J percentage sign means anything that starts with J. So it could just be like it could just be J. Would that, you know, would that include it? Because I guess it would, because it would be 0 characters. So it would just be J and then 0 or more characters. So it's if it was just J, it would match it. Gazillion, it would also match it. Underscore represents exactly 1 character. So I'm guessing this means if you did J underscore, it would have to be like JI or JK, JM. You know, you couldn't do JFK. If you did JFK, that's 3 characters. Well, that's 2 preceding. It would be 2 instead of 1. So then, using percentage to match any sequence of characters. The wildcard allows you to match any number of characters, including zeros. Select all from customers where name is like John. Return all rows where the name starts with John, such as John, Johnny. Okay, cool, yeah. So it does include, if it was just J, it would include just J. Easy. Easy. So let's put this as a note. We'll put both of these note. Like, start right here. We'll say cursor. Execute. Select all from customers where name not like J. I'm not really into jazz, baby. Jazz makes me sleepy, dude. Jazz make me sleepy, baby. I get you out of here. Sorry. Jazz make me sleepy, baby. I can't listen to that. Not really a big fan of jazz. Sorry. For all you jazz fans out there, it's not my thing. Select all from customers. Where name not like J. Okay. This will grab anything that doesn't start with J. Right? Isn't that what that says? We're not like J. So anything that doesn't start with a J. Yeah, and then we have these 2 notes, which we'll put these before the actual test. So we'll say note, and we're going to copy it. Represents. So this is going to be percentage sign, and what it does is it represents 0 or more characters, i.e. J bam is equal to J or gazillion. And then we have, whoa, man, what'd you do that for? Alright, now we have this one right here, underscore, and this represents exactly 1 character. Represents exactly 1 character. So then this would be i.e. J underscore is equal to JL JM, not JFK or J. I feel like Dr. Seuss right now. We're writing a fucking Dr. Seuss novel, okay? This is Dr. Seuss, alright? J underscore is equal to JLJM, not JFK or J. It's Dr. Seuss, bro. So let's verify this though. What are you doing? Over here. Symbols alike, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Using go. What is this? Using percentage to match any characters in the middle. You can use percentage in the middle of a string to match any characters before or after a specific substring. Select all from products where product name is like percentage phone percent. This will return all products whose product name contains the word phone anywhere in the name, such as smartphone, old phone, etc. Oh, okay, that's cool. That is cool. So you can use it to match characters in the middle. Also represents characters in the middle, i.e. This John, this would be equal to Jimmy John's just John, or Johnny. It's got John in it. J-H-N. That's all that matters. Cool. Let's figure it out now. Or even John the Son. You know what I'm saying? You know, anything like that. There you go. And okay, using underscore to match exactly one character wildcard, and these are called wildcards. It's called wildcards. We really need to put that as a note. Represents exactly one character. This is useful for finding patterns with fixed length. For all of our employees, select all of our employees where name like J blank N. Okay, so it's basically like fill in the blank. John Jan. Okay, this return all of whose name is 3 characters long and starts with a J and ends with any single character in between. Okay. So it's like cursor, execute, and we'll do select all from employees where name like, and we'll say J underscore P. And this will grab anything that is 3 characters long and as J first and i.e. JIP J3P. That's pretty much it. It's not, you don't have a lot of options there. Okay, then you can combine a percentage underscore for more complex patterns. You combine it to create more specific patterns. Okay, so this would be A blank blank LE. So you could do like AXX. It could be axle rod with 2 X's. AXXLEROD. Square will match title starting with A followed by any character, and then LE. For example, wait, you tripping, cuz? Because that would be 2. That would be 2 characters. So how would they tripping? Cuz Able is only 1 letter. B is only 1 letter, baby. What? Who? Okay. Okay. Select all from books where title. This would yeah, Apple would work and I'll would work, but not able, unless yeah, it says exactly one character. So if you had two, that would be exactly two characters, right? 1 plus 1 is 2, baby. In SQLite, the like operator is case sensitive by default for ASCII characters, meaning Apple and Apple will match the same pattern. It's case insensitive. However, it is case sensitive for non-ASCII characters unless the pragma case sensitive like command is used to make it case sensitive. However, it is case sensitive for non-ASCII characters unless the pragma case sensitive like command is used to make. Okay, so that would be the ASCII characters. It would make them case sensitive. To enable case sensitive matching, you can set the pragma case sensitive like setting. To enable case sensitive matching, you can set the pragma case sensitive like setting. Sensitive like is equal to 1. After running this statement, like will perform case sensitive matching. Sensitive matching using not like to exclude patterns. Use not like to filter out rows that match a specific pattern. Select all from employees where name is not like. So this will return all employees whose name does not start with A. Like is used for pattern matching in SQLite. Percentage matches any sequence of characters including 0, so it could be no characters. Underscore matches exactly one character. Not like excludes patterns. Like is case insensitive by default, but it can be made case sensitive with the pragma case sensitive like command. Okay, so the last thing I'll add in there is this fact that you can combine them, which is kind of cool. I'll probably never use it, and this is going to be the last one that I test for today, and then we're going to do some actual coding. So we're going to do cursor.execute, and this is going to be select all from books where title like, and then we can do A, it has to be double, where A blank blank blank, say A blank 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 S. So this would be and then you can put that at the end. So this would oops, I forgot to close this out. We'll grab anything that starts with A, has 3 characters after, and is followed by S, and is followed by nothing or anything, i.e. A O A E I O S, and then we could put is X9, and that would work because it starts with an A. It's got 3 characters, E I O, and then it's got an S, and then it could be anything after. Or it would also support just A E I O S. AOS. AOS. Sounds like a Latin crime gang. Yeah, there you go. All right, we're done. No more of this nonsense. So we're probably not gonna use this anyway. So let's move forward to actually working on some code. So let's just go ahead and switch back over to client refactor, and let's see here what we got going on. Okay, so this is where we had stopped. We were doing the, let's let's just review here. So we have database equals SQLite connect save file database. So that creates the database in the main directory. Then we create the cursor is equal to db cursor. And there's the save file in the main directory right here. Well, I don't have my highlighter, cursor highlighter up. It's right here. And then we assign a cursor. We set up journal mode to write ahead logging. We set synchronous to normal. This makes it run faster. We'll just put makes way faster, and same thing. Then we have database settings log. This just prints them out. Easy. Then we create the table. Cursor execute create table if not exists. Save data. And it's got the object name. Column, which is text, and it's a primary key. And then we have value, which is a blob. It's a binary large object. Then database. What is this, man? Who are we sacrificing with? This is sacrificial music. Okay, there we go. It gets a little better. Hey, DB, Dragon Ball. Jeez. Dragon Ball music came on. Dragon Ball mentioned. DB determines if row at primary key game ID exists. So then we do cursor execute select exists. So this exist keyword determines if something exists. A row exists under certain rules, and the rule here is select one from save data where object name is equal to game ID. So it always returns 1. So we're selecting what it returns, which I guess, like, I don't know if you could change this to select 0. All I know is this works. Select exists, select 1 from save data where object name is equal to game ID. So it checks to see if there is a game ID object name row in that database, and there is, it will return 1. There is not, it will return 0. So we do, it's basically acts like a boolean. We say game ID exists, and then we say cursor dot fetch 1 at index 0, which gives us whatever select exists. This cursor execute select returned, which would be 1 or a 0. 1 if it existed, 0 if it didn't. But it would be inside of a tuple, so we have to access index 0 to reach inside of the tuple and grab the 1 or the 0. So if game ID exists is equal to 0, then that means it's not a reconnect, because that means this game ID does not exist in the database yet, which means it hasn't been saved yet, which means like 99.9% it hasn't been assigned yet, because it's happened so fast. So then we have P1 game multiple choice function. So in this case, that it's not a reconnect, we do P1 multiple choice function, P1 game, start new game, and this is a blocking function. It blocks through while true game domain. Okay. Then else, this means it is a reconnect. This would be akin to saying elif game ID exists is equal to 1. In this case, say is reconnect means game ID has been saved to the save file. So in that case, we want to grab the game ID data from the database. So to do this, we would say, where we would say, we'll say execute and then select. So we want to get the value, right? Because that's the other column. So we want to select the value column, value field rather, associated with the value column from save data from that table where object name is equal to, we have to use game ID. So if there is an object name in there, which we know it is at this point, it does exist. Now we just have to we actually have to grab the associated field, which is going to be a binary large object. In this case, we would say, select value from save data for object name is equal with game ID. So then we would have to deserialize it. So we're selecting value from save data where object name is equal to E, and we know that it is there. So I think that's right. And then we do that. There you go. Yeah. And then we have to say pickle dot dumps which one do we use? Do we use pickle dot dumps, dump, load, or loads? Load would be from the file, so this would be loads, right? Or load. Can't remember which one. I have to look that up. So we do pickle.load or loads, and then we're gonna say, well, how about this? We'll say game ID data equals cursor dot fetch one. I think, yes. So yeah, game ID data equals cursor fetch one, because there's only gonna be one returned, because game ID, well, yeah, there should only be one game ID. Yeah, there should only be one of those. So select value from say data where object name equals game ID. And that's going to give us the value, but it's going to return as a tuple, right? So then we have to say at index 0, and this should grab the serialized game ID. And then this deserializes it. So then we're going to say game ID data. Dude, I'm so tired, bro. Like I feel like I could actually fall asleep right now. Pickle loads, load game ID data. So that deserializes it. Then we say p game multiple choice function, reconnect a game, or start new game. Well, yeah, I guess we don't even need to grab the game ID unless they want to use it, right? Yeah, so we would actually not do this. We would say, okay, so we can just uncomment this out, I think. Like this. All right. So then we give them the option to reconnect to the game or to start a new game. And if they choose to start a new game, then we'll do P1 game, a multiple choice function. I might have to go take a little walk here. I'm feeling sleepy, but it's just too early. I know in reality I wouldn't be able to go to sleep yet, so really don't want to do any more caffeine because I don't want to overdo it. I drank one coffee this morning when I was at work. And other than that, I didn't. I mean, I drank like a quarter cup that I had left over from coffee, and then drank. I mean, I took like a half of a caffeine pill, which is really not that much. I'm gonna go take a little walk there real quick. I'll be back. And we'll review this. Make sure all this is right. Right, Sean. Okay, baby. We're back. Alright, let's do this. So P1 game, select choice, start new game. P1 game, multiple choice function. P1 game connect. Okay. Connect to remote server. Okay, so this is all good. Then we need to save the client ID and the game ID. So yeah, this is all good. This should work, I think. We do P1 game selected choice is equal to start new game. P1 game multiple choice function. They make their choice here. Then if their choice is connect to a remote server, well, if they start a new game and then they choose to connect to a remote server, then we would do con equals n.connect local equals false, connect to a remote server, blocking operation. Client ID, game ID, because it's a new game, so they're receiving their client ID and game ID. Right, so there's 2 clients per game, so there's 2 client IDs per game ID. Okay, I remember now. I was thinking about how that worked. We have save client ID to save file. So now that we have the client ID and the game ID, we need to save it. So let's do that. Let's matter of fact, you know what I want to hear? I want the I got it in my dude, that OST was so good. Bruh. Maybe the best soundtrack ever, honestly. It's just good, man. Okay, client ID, game ID, and get client and game ID. Then we're going to do. Okay, so now we're gonna save the client ID to the save file. That's easy, right? All we need to do is do what we did before. Well, we know in this case that we don't have a client ID, right? Because if it was a because you're starting a new game. If you're connected to the remote server, yeah, you're definitely gonna get a new client ID. So it's not like you could use one you already had. So we would say cursor execute, and then we want to select. Well, no, not select. We want to insert into save data values and it would be, I think we have to do it as a tuple, right? And then we say the first one is object name. So then the object name would be, and it's a string, so it's going to be client ID. It has to be double quotes, I'm sorry. So we say client ID and comma, and then the second one will be a blob. So we'll do, well, we have to serialize it first for it to be a blob, right? So we have to do client ID, and we need to call dot, we're gonna dump it into the file. So we're gonna say dump or dumps. I can't remember which one. Dump or dumps. And then, yeah, so that's gonna be serialized. Serializes game ID. So this would just call this the serialized game ID. So that's game ID equals pickle dump slash dumps client ID. Or wait, sorry, wrong one. Not game ID. That's client ID. So serializes the client. Serialized client ID equals pickle dumps client ID. Serialized client ID, and yeah, we would do the same thing. For game ID, we serialized game ID equals pickle dumps game ID, and that serializes the game ID because we have to do both of them, right? I believe we do. Serialize client ID equals pickle dumps. Then we do cursor execute. Can't we do multiple? We could do execute many, right? Can't we do execute many? I thought, yeah, we could do execute many. SQLite 3, execute many. If you want to execute multiple sequences, you can execute many method. It's typically used to execute a query with multiple sets of data. That's something we do want to add to our test here. Oops. Alright, so we'll do execute many test. And oh, what about begin transaction? That's another one, I think. So we'll call this begin transaction test. So insert into save data value. Then we pass in like so. We pass in the client serialized, yeah, and then we do same thing here with game ID, and it's serialized game ID. But I think we can use execute many instead. Instead of doing two executes, I think we can do begin transaction and then execute many. It's typically used to execute a query with multiple sets of data, i.e. multiple rows of data in a single call, which can be much more efficient than executing the query for each row individually. The execute many method allows you to pass in a sequence like a list or a tuple of parameters, and SQLite will execute the SQL query for each set of parameters. So we do execute many, and then we say SQL statement, comma, sequence of parameters. So the SQL query typically insert or update with placeholders for the parameters, and then you do sequence of parameters, a sequence like a list of tuples or list where each item corresponds to a set of parameters for the SQL query. Sequence like a list of tuples or lists where each item corresponds to a set of parameters for the SQL query. So we're using execute many to insert multiple rows. So you have a table called employees with columns name, department, salary, and you want to insert multiple records at once. Okay, so we say cursor execute create table of not exist employees, name, text, department, text, salary, real. Gotcha. Okay, and then employees. So this is your list. It's a list of tuples with the name, the department, and the salary. And then you say cursor execute many, insert into employees, name, department, salary, values. You can just say insert into employees. You don't even have to put this. You can just say insert into employees and then values. And you don't have to use placeholders. You could just pass in the actual list. So, but they do have to be a list. Or could you just do like the two values, the two tuples like straight up, or do they have to be put in a list first? Could you just make a tuple right here for values and inside of it have one tuple, comma, the second tuple? Or like that probably wouldn't work, huh? That's probably wrong syntax. Yeah, because like employees, yeah, I suppose it has to be just a singular object. So it wouldn't be able to be like two objects. So that would be two objects. So we'd have to make a list first. So I don't even know if it would be faster. It might just be faster to just do two individual executes. Because then we have to create a list. I mean, it doesn't take time though. I mean, we could create a tuple. It doesn't have to be a list, right? It could be a tuple. What did it say? Like a list of tuples or lists. So does it have to be a list though? Could it be a tuple? Let's see here. Let's copy this and bring it over here. And we're gonna add this, but we're gonna do one line. Started game local or alright, so instead of that, cursor execute, we're just gonna do cursor execute. Cursor, oops, wrong. Cursor dot execute, and then we're gonna execute many, and then triple quotes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we're gonna do one line, so we don't have to do triple quotes, and we'll say insert into save data values. Oopsie, gonna do underscore save underscore data values. And then so we have to create a list, right? So we would have our serialized client ID, serialized game ID, and then we would make the serialized then it'll be a tuple containing the serialized client ID and the serialized game ID. And then we copy this, so we insert and save data values, and then we would just say serialized tuple, right? We have to do it like that, I believe. And bam. Okay, insert into save data values, serialized tuple. Now, I think this would work. I think this will work, but not 100% sure. Should probably test it. Okay, so do we use dump or dumps for serializing? Wait. Okay, yeah, because we have to serialize it before we put it in there. Yeah. So we'll say, serialized client ID. Yeah, to serialize data into a SQL file. To serialize data before blob into DB. Use dot dumps. Serialize data before storing it as a blob. You typically use dumps, not dump. Dumps, this method uses to serialize, convert Python object into a byte format that can be stored in a database or written to a file. For example, the pickle module in Python uses dumps to serialize an object into a byte string. Dump, this method is used to write the serialized data to a file-like object, right? So without S, file-like object. With S, you just do that. I'll think of just the S. You just serialize the specific data. So in this case, we would want to do dumps. So it would be dumps, client ID, and then yeah, pickle.dumps. Serialize client ID, pickle.dumps, client ID, serialize client ID, and then serialize game ID is pickle.dumps game ID. Then you do serialize tuple, there you go. And then we do, so this looks right to me. Serialize client ID equals pickle dumps client ID. I think that's right. And then we do serialize game ID equals pickle.dumps game ID. Yeah, should also be correct. And then serialize tuple equals a tuple consisting of serialized client ID, serialized game ID. So execute many insert into save data values. So into the save data table. The values here are going to be serialized tuple. And this work? I'm just going to straight up ask it, will this work? This fucking mosquito right here, baby mosquito, gotcha. Will this work with 1L? Okay, your will not work as expected for a few reasons, probably related to how they execute many. Use of f-string. In SQL, you should not directly interpolate values using f-strings or string formatting for certain data. This can lead to SQL injection vulnerabilities and is not the recommended practice. Yeah, but we're not worried about that because we know the data is secure. Instead, you just use parameterized queries. Okay, execute many methods used to execute the same SQL statement with different parameter sets. This is used to execute the same SQL statement with different parameter sets. If you only want to insert a single row, execute many isn't necessary. If you want to insert multiple rows, you can use a sequence of parameters, like a list of tuples. You need to ensure that parameterized query is correct. Yeah, but serialized tuple. That's the list of tuples. You have to, so it has to be a list. So it's a sequence like a list or tuple of tuples. Man, ChatGPT, you fell off on this one. You just fell off, bro. This method expects sequence like a list or tuple of parameters. So this pass x many which the list contains a single. You can just use it. Why couldn't I just use a tuple of tuples? Okay. So the, what does he call it? The sequence of parameters can be a tuple of tuples. It doesn't have to be a list of tuples. The sequence of parameters passes x many can be tuples, and it doesn't have to be specifically a list of tuples, both are valid. The important part is that it should be an iterable, which can be a tuple list. Tuples are listed only. Gotcha. Easy money. Yeah. Gotcha. we doing here, dog? I think I'm about done, guys, for the day. My ears are starting to hurt from this fucking headset. About done here. That should work. What was I gonna ask it? Start a game, local or remote equals remote. Well, if we connect to local, we wouldn't actually do this, would we? We wouldn't get the client ID. I don't think we would. Would we actually do this for local? I don't think so. Below lie. Not good. Don't lie, dog. Don't lie, dude. Start a game. What equals local? Save started game local or remote to save file. Do we need to do this? Think about this. Yeah. So I think what we'll do is I think I'm gonna stop here. So I'm just done, dude. You know? How long have we been going? We're going for 1 hour 16. We did an hour and a half, so that puts us at almost 3 hours. So that's all right. That's decent for the day, you know. I did 3.5 hours at work, and then we got almost 3 hours here. So yeah, that's yeah. With an hour lunch, 7.5. That's close. Yeah, I just don't have it in me anymore. I'm done. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna put. I don't know if we need to save this started game local or remote thing, but I can't really think straight anymore, so it's time to quit, baby. Let's do stopped here. We'll put this actually should be like that, and then the date B2 1325 stopped here. Copy this. This is line 363 in client refactor. So at line number 363 in client. Yeah, baby. So from 259 to, well, from 259 to 416, we continued implementation. That again continued. DB into client refactor pi. Did not test. Could test it, but I'm not because I'm just not. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. 1325. Alright, so now we are gonna stage and commit our changes though. Let's cut that time. We'll put 417. 19. You guys say 2 minutes. Push changes. Blah blah blah. And this is gonna be from 259 to 419. It's gonna be it's from 3 to 419. That's an hour and 20 minutes exactly, which is we'll just say an hour and 30 minutes. But yeah, so we did actually do 3 hours minus 12 minutes. So we cut off 12 minutes, dog. Close enough. Close enough, baby. For me, I'm not gonna give myself that too hard of a time here. Alright, so we're gonna make sure we're at the root of the project directory, which we are. So now we're gonna do git branch, make sure we're on the right branch. We are on secondary. Now we're gonna do git add dot to add everything. We're gonna do git commit -m double quotes paste double quotes There you go. You got 4 files changed, 158 insertions, 77 deletions. We created the save file database. Yeah. Now we're going to do get push canasta secondary. Now go ahead and push that to the cloud, baby. There it goes. All right. So now we can close this out. Minimize that. Go yonder. Programming projects canasta. Wait, I'm sure. Let's see, I'm talking. Anyway, operate correctly here. So Canasta backup, delete the old one, and yep, ignore that. Paste in the new one. Then we're gonna enter into it. We're gonna go to text, demo, all up at the end. Just to verify that is today's date. Okay, so it's all up to date. That's a recent backup. It's current. Name this to be 2/13/25, maybe. Not 24. Alright, there we go. That's it. So now everything is backed up to the cloud and to back up to the cloud and to the local machine. So that's it for today. Yep, I'm just tired, guys. So I cut off 10 minutes early, but I don't have it in me. So I'll see you tomorrow, and yeah, have a good day. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, right? Ooh, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. Well, enjoy your day.